Hey everyone, Duke Nuke 3D here with another master review for you guys, and today we're taking a look at something that's not really all that particularly special, but, you know, I might as well document the details while I have it, because today I have for you a Avon XM53 IPM, or Improved Protective Mask. Now, I know what you're saying, Duke, this looks like a normal M53. What makes it an XM? It looks nothing experimental, but I will get into that, because this really isn't a matter of a very big design change as much as it is just a pre-contract item, because there's not really much to see here, but I will be pointing out all the little specific details of what makes this particular example an XM over my normal M53 here. But before I get into that, I will say that this example here I do not own. This one was sent to me for restoration by a member of the r/gas masks official Discord, and I will be sending this to a person that he's going to be selling it to, but I decided I wanted to get this on camera and do a little review on it while I still had it, so that's what I'm doing now. So really, structurally, it's not all that different from a normal M53. There's very little that is different about this mask as opposed to this one. But let's start with the obvious here. Well, not really the obvious, more of just the little fine details. If you can look closely, and I doubt this is going to be picked up on camera, I'm going to start with the most visible, or the most external one. I don't know how to describe it, but you can see that there's streaks. There's three streaks along the nose there, and that is signs of the mold being modified, because the earlier XM53s, where they had these three reinforcements along the nose, kind of much like the M50, how it has like those lines along the nose. The earlier XM53 sort of had a similar thing, and on this example, they edited that out of the mold. And over here, on the sides, you can also see very faintly, you have to really look for it, there is also more evidence of mold modification, because earlier XM53s would have had a tab that would have integrated with the hood assembly, because the early hood assemblies for the XM53 had buttons on the inside for retention, and even earlier ones had like the ones that had these temple hood buttons, they also had two hood retention tabs on the forehead, whereas this one has been modified for one, although I can't really see much evidence of their having originally been two, but again, the molds were modified and there's not much to see there. And I'll give you a close-up of the restoration that I did to this example before I send it out. As you can see, the original harness tab was torn right here. This thing has definitely been abused, almost definitely used in field trials, and so I've taken 2 sheets of chloroprene rubber and I've patched that onto there. It feels pretty durable in my opinion. I don't think it's going to break, but I would definitely advise the person who receives this not you integrate it into their personal kit, because A, this is an XM53 and probably more valuable as a display piece, and B, I'm not really sure how well this repair will last, but it seems pretty solid as it is. You can also see more corrosion on the buckles. All these buckles were bent and corroded, and the harness is completely stretched out. Like, there's almost no elasticity left in the head harness. But getting onto the interior, we will see more details of what makes this an XM. Because, again, all the stuff I've previously shown you is just very minor stuff. You really have to be looking hard to see details like that. But if we look on the interior, and it's not going to be immediately seen, you have to look basically right in here. I don't know if the camera is going to let me pick that up, but we will try. Let's see here. How am I going to get this on camera? Let's try this. Again, sorry for the shoddy camera work, but I don't know if you can see that properly, but that is a date stamp of 2005 made by Avon SDD. I'm not sure what SDD stands for, but 2005 is extremely early for an M53. Keep in mind that the XM53 was finalized on 2007. Like, the M53 didn't become an adopted thing until 2007. So this being 2005, essentially, it's 2 years behind its official date contract, like its actual production date. And then if you look at a normal M53 here, which I have a VREU lever, the comms cable, and the clear lens outsert and optical inserts installed, the location of that date stamp is also different as well, because as you may be able to notice, on the XM53 IPW, it was inside of the center of the cheek waffle pattern, as I like to call it. But on this one, on the normal M53s, that date stamp has been reallocated to just underneath the lens right there. So this one's obviously a normal production one, 2014 dated. What I also found interesting, what many others found interesting, is that this one on the VREU, you would have expected this one to have the orange valve like mine does, but this one doesn't. And in fact, it has, not to say that the black valves are more common, because I do believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe most of them have a green valve on the inside, but this one is a fairly early VREU valve, and it actually has a date stamp of 2003, although I don't believe the camera will be able to pick that up. If you can see that little circle around the top there, that is a date stamp of 2003. I will try and get the camera to focus in on that, but I doubt you could see it all that well. You can see like an 03 right there, maybe. But anywho, there's not really much different externally or internally. It's just really very minor mold differences that set this as an XM53. So not really. I apologize if you were expecting something a little bit more dramatic, but that's literally all this is. It's a very late finalized XM53, 2 years before the official finalized contract. So this one is definitely used in field trials, like I assume. If you're wanting to see the VPU assembly removed, there's nothing different about that. It's just a normal VREU valve cassette assembly. If I can get the camera to focus. The drinking tube on this one is a little bit longer. I'm not sure why. It's just got like maybe a centimeter or two extra length of tubing. Kind of weird, but not really all that much weird. Could just be different how they cut the tube, really. So not really much to say about that. So that's really all I have to say. There are a couple different variants of the XM53 IPW. IPM. Keeps mixing that up. So I will probably post those at the end of the video for you to be able to see the different variants of development of the XM53 into the finalized M53. So that's really all I have to say on the matter. If you enjoyed, if you have any comments, questions, corrections, or concerns, drop them down in the comments below. I'm Duke New 3D, and I will see you all later.